Hikari and Gatomon is the title for episode 34 of Digimon Adventure 2020, so just like Commandomon, let's dive right into the review. Gatomon is explaining about Faga, which is where the biggest shard of Marineangemon is at, and apparently that shard is causing all sorts of weird digivolutions. Could that be the place where the Dark Miasma and the Dark Lightning originate from, since the biggest shard of Marineangemon is there? We are then introduced to an underwater city in the digital world. It was like I was watching Finding Nemo again. This is something I love seeing, new sights and new lands for the Digidestined to see. The Mega Digimon, Marineangemon, is the one powering up the city with her holy ring. The Digimon actually migrated to the ocean and adapted to marine life. All this talk of ocean gets me thinking of the Dark Ocean would be involved in some weird way. If you think about it, look at the last two continents we were at. Both of them felt like a post-apocalyptic world, just corrupted Digimon everywhere and a dark, eerie feel to them as well. No normal Digimon would voluntarily live there, in the Cloud continent and the continent that War Greymon appeared at. What if the shards of Marineangemon is actually altering the digital world itself? We are seeing the Dark Miasma and the Dark Lightning turn continents into corrupted land. We see in this episode the Dark Lightning coming into the ocean in that little underwater city world. Maybe that's why Gatomon is keen on going to Faga, because she has to destroy the biggest Marineangemon shard there, as it's affecting the digital world. Maybe Marineangemon already corrupted a part of the ocean with the Dark Lightning in the digital world, which then created the Dark Ocean, which is a way of bringing the Dark Ocean back into the story. Anomalocarimon and his boys are starting to attack the underwater city, but I wanted to talk about Gatomon quickly. Gatomon this entire episode so far has been overprotective of Kari, which makes sense given in the previous episode she saw how much of a madness Kari is willing to do in order to save Gatomon. I feel Gatomon witnessing that Kari could have died saving her in the previous episode, she is probably filled with massive guilt and maybe even some shame as well. The pride and the number one priority of a partner Digimon is to protect their human partner. But Kari was the one coming in and rescuing her inside of Dark Nightmon, which Gatomon feels it's her responsibility. As she said in this episode, I will fight, it's my duty. That's why you see her so ferociously attack Anomalocarimon. So I believe Gatomon is behaving like this because of her guilt on how Kari risked her life for her, which is perfectly natural as Digimon are also living creatures. They have feelings as well. We had the moment in the end with both of them confessing their longing for each other. It works for the context of this episode, but we saw the big moment with both of them in the previous episode. So for me, it wasn't really doing much. I actually thought she was going to armor Digivolve into Nefertimon. They teased it with the Digivice appearing. I guess in a future episode when Kari and Gatomon have another big moment when they both explain to each other how they were longing to meet one another is the next time we will see Nefertimon or even Angewoman. I have to be honest with you guys, this episode was quite boring. Instead of having fight scenes, why couldn't you just explain to us how Gatomon got captured in this episode? Or have the others reunite with Tai and his team here? Matt, Mimi and Joe don't even get a mention in this episode, and Izzy is doing his usual update of the space station. There was no need for any fight scenes in this episode, and Gatomon's inner problems could have been a character struggle for her throughout an entire season, which could have potentially corrupted her instead of being resolved in one episode. Or even this could have been the episode where the whole team finally meets the 8th Digidestined, who happens to be Tai's little sister. But no, we get more filler fights with the Digimon of the week. For the first time ever, I actually watched the preview for the next episode. Normally I don't do that because I usually like to have the episode surprise me, but I couldn't afford to wait for another episode like this. It looks like Angewoman will be making her appearance in the next episode, and Scarlet Nightman looks like he is still alive, which is what I said in my previous review. It looks promising, but I guess we will have more Kari Gatomon moments in the next episode. But let me know what you guys think of this episode down below. Did you guys find this episode disappointing or did you actually enjoy it? If you did, I would love to know your reasons why. But anyway guys, care for nothing.